it's easy to see why I bought Star Renegades. The game looks gorgeous. The animation, the pixel art, it's all top notch. And the game is a roguelike, and it has turn-based combat. Why wouldn't I just buy this game? Now, the battle system wasn't something I got at first, which is probably why I stopped playing it for a couple weeks. I put in about 2 hours in it, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I kind of stopped playing. I like turn-based combat, especially in RPGs. But part of the reason why I like it so much is because of the story, the characters, all of that stuff. And you're kind of missing out in Star Renegades with that. So because I didn't understand the battle system, which was its big draw point, I just wasn't having fun. But if you look online, all of these rave reviews kept popping up, and I decided to give it another chance. And I'm glad I did, because it gave me an opportunity to learn things about the battle system that I didn't quite get the first time around. And it was those parts of the battle system that I didn't get that really sold me on the game and had me invested. So you know what's really cool about Star Renegades' battle system? It's stagger mechanic. So the stagger mechanic works based on the timeline. Star Renegades has a timeline at the top, which tells you when an enemy is going to attack, who's it going to attack, and also, when you select your character's actions, it'll tell you where they'll attack, or I guess I should say when they'll attack. If you can attack an enemy before they attack you, then you can initiate a critical attack on the enemy. Yeah, so in this game, critical attacks don't occur by random chance. They're determined by you, depending on if you're able to attack the enemy before they attack you. So actually, before each round, you know exactly what the enemy's going to do, and you'll be able to react accordingly. There actually isn't much random chance in this game, in the battle system, which is pretty neat. So that was the first step up. I misunderstood the way critical attacks work, which is a really important part of this game. Because when you initiate a critical attack, you'll initiate your character's critical attack bonus, and this is so important. When you initiate a critical attack, you'll deal extra damage, maybe you'll do armor damage, but you'll also be able to push the character back in the timeline. So if they were going to attack earlier, you can push them back so they attack later. And the amount they get pushed back is indicated by this green clock icon here. And you can see on the timeline how far back they actually get pushed. And you can stack this. And if you're able to push the enemy back all the way off the timeline, then they'll be staggered and they'll actually lose a turn. So as you can imagine, this is a huge part of the strategy that I didn't get when I first played, which is why I wasn't really into the game. The trade-off to this is that if you could stagger them every single round, the game would just be a pushover. It'd be super easy. So to balance this out, what the developers did was implement a stagger limit, and that's that number next to the enemy's icon there. That number is the number of times you can attack the enemy and initiate that critical bonus and the stagger effect. Right? Once that number is down to 0, after that many attacks, you can't stagger them anymore. And then you might have to play a little defensively. And it's pretty cool. I think it's a really cool mechanic because at each round, you kind of have to decide, do I want to focus my moves on high attacks but low stagger? Or do I want to focus on high stagger and just maybe do a heavy attack with another character? It's a really cool relationship between how you want your party to be selected and how you just want your moves to work out. So yeah, the way Star Renegades implements stagger is pretty cool. If you're into great pixel art, roguelikes, turn-based combat, anything like that, I suggest you pick up Star Renegades because I think the game actually is really awesome. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you next time.